Spinning off from its JRPG roots, Atlus with the collaboration of Arc System Works combined efforts to bring forth the captivating universes of Persona 3 and Persona 4 respectively into a fighting game arena. However, similar to the ability of the Persona franchise in separating itself from the pack with exceptional storytelling, its introduction to fighting games emphasizes unique individualism, all while still maintaining principal balance. Vibrant but non-distracting. That is perhaps the best way to describe the way Persona 4 Arena approaches its presentation. Adopting a bright color palette similar to Persona 4's heavy use of the color yellow, the gleaming visual effects are all well adjusted to maintaining optic clarity. Idle and active animations are all well transitioned, and the clear markings of elements such as burst gauge, Persona card stock, awakening status, etc. are well implemented in distinguishing in-combat situations in what is predominantly a fast-paced, high-octane fighting game. Stages in Persona 4 Arena, although relatively low in number, are all well thought out and showcase creativity, be it visuals pertaining to the overall narrative, or optical movement that serve to more of an engaging background. Character models and their animations are perhaps the two areas where the game shines its brightest. The ability to strike a balance with the unique individual characteristics each character offers, yet still fit it in a fighting game arsenal, is an impressive demonstration of preserving property integrity. The creative implementation of individual Persona moves, along with individual character moves, provides excellent chemistry with regards to offense and is smoothly transitioned from one to the next. In addition to the use of source material with regards to character-specific command moves, supers, and instant kills, the general mechanics such as burst and entering awakening are all well tailored specifically to each character, along with unique references to the JRPG such as the all-out attack animation and certain status ailments. Audibly, in similar fashion to its visual presentation, the game provides clear cues for in-game action. Be it the sound of a fatal counter approaching a negative penalty or the action of instant blocking, the game leaves no question with regards to clarity of action. With regards to voice acting and original soundtrack, Persona 4 Arena follows suit of its JRPG roots and provides quality in both. Be it in Japanese or in English, the cast sounds excellent and fitting, and the superb soundtrack accustomed to fans of the JRPG does not disappoint even in a different setting. Overall, it could be argued that if there is a blueprint of how to fuse visual and audible presentation in a fighting game of an already well-established property, Persona 4 Arena's final presentation has to be pretty close to it. In almost every phase, the game does not miss a beat. Be it idle, moving, or in transition, the use of source material, clear visual and audible cues, superb animations, and excellent voice performances. Persona 4 Arena hits on all marks.
Round 2, fight!
Considering not being a legacy franchise within the realm of fighting games, the mechanics in Persona 4 Arena offer a surprising mix of simplicity and straightforwardness, yet without the sacrifice of depth. Universal game mechanics such as 2 light attacks exclusive to a character, 2 heavier attacks exclusive to a character's persona, the burst mechanic, which can act as an offensive meter gaining tool on an unsuspecting opponent, a possible momentum stopping tool, or even an extended combination tool in the form of a 1 more burst. Other mechanics such as the use of a 1 more cancel, acting as either an offensive extension at times, or a defensive countermeasure, and lastly the use of guard cancel, which can aid as a defensive tool depending on the circumstance. However, despite the cast receiving the same universal mechanics, it's their individual uniqueness brought upon their playstyle and persona that separates one character from another. Supplementing a grappling character like Kanji with the ability to shock opponents in place, or short-range characters like Yosuke with extreme speed and mobility, all aid in complementing the in-depth individual character matchups. However, the only real downfall of Persona 4 Arena's character diversity is not with its quality, but rather with its quantity, as the game only consists of 13 playable characters, with only 2 not being original characters from the JRPGs in Labris and Shadow Labris. Mechanically, despite having many components to mine both on offense and defense, the game's system tutorial is helpful in breaking down the game to more novice players who may need more help to adjust to a fast-paced fighting game. Furthermore, other offline modes such as the standard training mode with the ability to use the record and replay function is made available, as well as score attack mode, a high difficulty ladder playthrough, challenge mode, an extensive combination demonstrator, arcade mode, a quick version of the story campaign, and lastly the game story mode. While it by no means is much of a captivating story to what fans of the series is used to with its JRPG history, the narrative in Persona 4 Arena does have a bit of intrigue to it, especially when considering the storylines of Labris and Elizabeth. The individual story chapters can overstay their welcome, primarily since the structure of the story mode is carried as a visual novel, with some fighting sequences in between. However, pacing aside, the initial interactions between both cast members of Persona 3 and Persona 4 is quite interesting.
So recklessly.
Final!
It is without question that while it does whiff on a few elements such as roster size and somewhat mediocre story, Persona 4 Arena gets the most important component in fighting games right, and that is gameplay. Structuring accessible features such as auto combos, modest execution difficulty, and a basics tutorial, along with the implementation of more advanced mechanics, lends to the opening of the door to both newcomers, all while still accommodating more experienced players. In conclusion, Persona 4 Arena is carried by superb presentation, strong gameplay mechanics, and individual charm. And those qualities, along with many others, resulted in making the first fighting game appearance of the Persona franchise quite the respectable one.